you from Toronto, and feels really appropriate just coming out of these beautiful prayers that wherever you are, whatever city you are in, whatever country you're in, acknowledge the land that you're on, acknowledge whether it's treaty land, whether it's stolen land, and just take that moment as we go through the evening. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for this beginning, y'all.
Hey guys, I'm Ravi Patel. I don't know. I can't believe we're here. This has been a wild few years, definitely a wild last couple months. And, I'm here because that I deserve all the credit for it. And I just wanted to tell you guys, like, I won't take it. I think we all did it together. Did I play a big hand in it? Sure, absolutely. But, I'm not saying that. That's what everyone else is saying. I'm really glad to be here, guys. This is awesome. So fun. Also, Mama's on FaceTime because they tried to get into this thing and they couldn't figure it out. Mom, can you say hi? Great. Close enough.
That is so fantastic, Ravi. I love it, everybody. I'm Rajiv Satyal, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Burbank, California. That inauguration, I agree, on Wednesday was really something else. At first, I was really nervous because I heard about the 25,000 National Guard troops that were going to be there. And then I figured, you know what, that's already larger than Trump's inauguration crowd. So I was already happy. We were off to a good start. And it was kind of great to see us swearing in without the swearing. So without that out of the way, I am amped to introduce an exciting panel with the 4 congressional representatives. Actually 3 are joining us tonight, South Asian origin, fondly known as the Samosa Caucus. And I like that samosa because it's shaped like a triangle. That's change. I don't know if they knew that. Maybe that's why they did it. That's what you need people like Ravi and me for. Okay, we've got Representative Krishnamurthy from Illinois. We have Representative Jayapal from Washington. And we have Representative Khanna from California, knows how to party. This panel is going to be moderated by the founder and CEO of Girls Who Code, our good friend, Reshma Saujani.
Hey, everybody. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you. I, too, have been waiting for this day for a really long time. So I sat there 2 days ago watching Sonia Sotomayor swear in Kamala Devi Harris. And I sat there with my 2 boys on my lap, and I just cried. And every barrier that we broke down that day is made possible because we stood on the shoulders. And some of the shoulders that we stood on are the 3 Congress folks that we're going to talk to today. And I know this because I once ran for Congress and lost miserably. Thank God the 3 of you won. But I remember that we were the first to build that first South Asian walk list, to make that first South Asian donor list, to convince our aunties and uncles that politics is something that you should try to pursue, and it's better than even being an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. So when Kamala Devi Harris was ready, we were ready because we had built that muscle of how to activate voters and how to knock on doors and how to ask for money. And we only got there because of each and every single one of you. So on behalf of the community today, I just want to express an enormous amount of gratitude to the 3 of you. You have made this dream that so many of our children now have, that they can be everything and anything, possible. So it is an honor to introduce the Samosa Caucus. Congressman Bera is not with us. He is not feeling well today. So let's say a little prayer for him that he feels better. So let's get to it. So the first thing is the Democrats control the White House and both chambers of the Congress. Woohoo! So we finally have an opportunity to make some headway on a number of issues like immigration, climate change, healthcare. So in your opinion, what is the key issue that we can address in the upcoming Congress? I'd love to start with you, Representative Jayapal, as the head of the Progressive Caucus chair, and then get Raja and roll your answers.
Well, thanks, Reshma. And hello, everyone. It is so great to see such a great turnout tonight and to be with my really fantastic members of Congress, Ro and Raja, and hopefully Ami's doing okay. We have so much to do and so much we can do now that we control the White House, the Senate, and the House. So the first thing is big, expansive COVID relief package. That is what's on the table right now. We got to get money in people's pockets. We've been pushing for the survival checks, for assistance for small businesses, for the vaccination distribution. And finally, we have a president who actually understands the suffering that is happening across the country. So that's huge. And then I'll mention one other and leave the rest for my colleagues, and that is immigration reform. You know, I've been a huge immigration reform champion for 20 years, and we are finally going to have the ability to really move a humane and just immigration policy through, which is so important to us as South Asians. Somebody who came here when I was 16 by myself, I know exactly, and I've been through a multitude of visas. I know how critical that is. So those are two big things in front of us, and there's many more.
Ro, do you want to jump in?
Sure, Reshma. Well, first, thank you, Reshma, for all that you did. I mean, you have been a trailblazer since 2004, first starting the first South Asian effort with John Kerry. And I just want to thank Harini and Deepa in the Bay Area for all they did with South Asians for Biden. It's an honor to be here with Pramila, who is the leader, our leader of the progressive movement in Congress, the progressive co-chair, and Raja Krishnamurthy, who is such a leader on so many issues of technology and education and in many places in the Congress. I, too, was very moved by the swearing in. We all have our Kamala Harris stories. My favorite is I first met Vice President Harris in 2003. I was running against Tom Lantos against the war in Iraq, and I lost very badly. But the local paper wasn't covering me, the San Francisco Chronicle. And back then, Kamala Harris was quite a star. She was just been elected to the DA in San Francisco. And so I got a meeting with her, and I still remember she said, well, do you have any campaign literature? And I said, I do. I didn't bring it. And she said, well, first thing, you may want to bring some of your literature along. But she ended up calling the San Francisco Chronicle, and they ended up doing a story on our race. We still lost 70-20. But the point is, she helped someone. She helped someone who she saw had a barrier to break in. And I have no doubt as vice president, she's going to do that. She's going to open doors for everyone on this call and beyond. And not just the South Asian community, but people who have been marginalized from politics. So it's amazing to see her in that role. And I agree with everything Pramila said. I think our first priority has to be getting help to people, getting checks to people, getting helping kids. One of the things I'm most excited about is this proposal of $300 a month for children. And Columbia has done a study that it would reduce child poverty by 50%. I mean, imagine if we can do that in the first month of the Biden presidency, reduce child poverty in this country by 50%. That's what is so exciting about the opportunity we have.
Raja?
Hi, Reshma. Thank you so much for hosting this, and great to see my great colleagues, Pramila and Ro, and I hope Ami's feeling better. And thank you to all of the attendees and organizers. Look, I think the number one issue to me is vaccine distribution. It's a situation where everyone in America deserves a shot in the arm, literally, and yet only 37 million doses have been produced, and of that, only 17 million have been distributed. And so we have a big problem on our hands. The Trump administration has bungled the rollout of the vaccine. And so right now, in my humble opinion, the number one priority is to ramp up the production of vaccines and make sure that it gets into the arms of every single American ASAP, of course, starting with the most vulnerable and then reaching everyone else. I think that another issue that I want to highlight is just the cost and access of higher education. It's obscene in this country, and the amount of student debt is ridiculous. And so I think we have to radically approach a debt cancellation plan. I know that President Biden and Vice President Harris have put forward one approach among many, and I think we in Congress have to work with them. But at this point, we cannot go back to just a new normal following this pandemic. We have to get to a new better. We have to have come out of this pandemic better than we started in some regards, and that's with regard to our healthcare system and access to higher education opportunities so that we can finally get moving again as an economy. So overall, we have to, stay positive, but test negative at this point.
Yeah. So it's powerful. I mean, one of the things I think all of us share in common is that we have these immigrant working parents, that so much of the reason why we're standing here is because they had access to the American dream. And, I've been advocating a lot for working mothers. We've lost 2 million women in the labor market. And it's because, Ro, you alluded to that, we have a childcare crisis in this country. And so I too was very excited to see him put that, on the table immediately as something that the administration is going to address. There have been a number of executive orders. It's been like a birthday party, like wall gone, DACA, yes, you know what I mean? And so I've been so excited. I know you've all been so excited. So which is the one that you are most personally excited about?
It's too hard to say because there's so many and we've been waiting for so long. I mean, I have to say overturning the Muslim ban was a really big one. $15 minimum wage for federal contractors. That's fantastic because we're going to pass 15 hopefully through the House. I was on the first major city that passed $15 minimum wage was Seattle, and I was on that committee. So now it's so great to see it mainstreamed. But, I was just thinking, because when Ro was talking, I thought maybe I should tell my Kamala Harris story as well, which is a family Kamala Harris story. My great aunt was one of the first women OBGYNs in India. She wrote the medical textbook that's used for OBGYNs in their medical schools. And she became the dean of the Chandigarh Medical School, I forget what it's called, Medical Institute, I think. And she had a very promising student that became her mentee. And that student was Shamla Gopalan, who is Kamala Devi Harris's aunt, her mother's sister. And Dr. Gopalan ended up writing the next version of that medical textbook. And in the acknowledgments of that textbook, she acknowledges my great aunt. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And, Kamala and I were sworn in, Vice President Harris, I'm going to just say it because I love saying it. We're sworn into Congress on the same day. We were elected the same night that the former president was elected. And we did so many bills together. I became the first South Asian American woman, but not the last, Reshma. There's still time for you and many others on the call to make it into Congress with us. And Kamala, of course, became the first South Asian American woman and the second Black woman in the US Senate. And so the incredible pride and joy that we feel of people who understand these issues. And that's why these executive orders are important. The first bill that Kamala and I wrote together and introduced together was access to legal counsel following the Muslim ban, because we were both at the airport. So that is, I think, the experience that she and President Biden will together take and put into policy.
Yeah, I am so excited to watch the two of you just cause a lot of good trouble together.
I'd like to put in a word for stopping the building of the wall and rejoining the Paris Climate Change Accord. That was my first bill in Congress. And, I'm the co-founder of the Solar Caucus in Congress. And this is a bipartisan caucus that, believe it or not, I co-founded with a guy named Ralph Norman, who's a Republican from South Carolina. We couldn't be more different. He's a conservative Republican. I'm not. He's a member of the Freedom Caucus. I'm not. And his name is Ralph, and I'm not. And yet I think there's a real powerful opportunity for us to make headway on the issue of climate change with an incredibly friendly partner and ally in the White House. And so I think that under the president and vice president's leadership, we are going to finally make inroads on this problem of combating climate change, rejoining the Paris Climate Change Accord, rejoining the WHO, and then of course stopping the building of the wall signifies that we're finally engaging with the rest of the world. And we can't solve these problems of climate change or ending the pandemic unless we do that. And that's a huge positive change for us and the world, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ro, did you want to add anything?
So Manny, I agree with all of the enthusiastic.
Having trouble hearing you.
The Muslim ban stands out because that undermined the very essence of who we are as a country. We're not a country based on a religion or a nationality or a particular culture. We're a country based on ideas. And Donald Trump, in doing that, really undermined our very founding principles. And so Biden and President Biden and Vice President Harris, I think, are not just restoring America, but taking us a step closer to a multiracial democracy. And in my view, that's one of their greatest service to the country.
Yeah. I think that's right. It goes against everything we are. So a lot of people here were so excited about Vice President Harris's election, but even so excited about what happened in Georgia. And we didn't really even get to celebrate it. So last question here. There is fire in people's belly right now. There's fire in this community's belly, and we want to keep doing more. Really quick, what are some strategies for us to continue the engagement and continue being active?
Well, I think the number one thing is people need to run for office. I think this is the moment where people need to take the momentum of the engagement that the South Asian community displayed. And I'm encouraging more people to run for office. You know, there's an old saying in Washington, D.C., which you know, which is, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. And none of us on the Zoom call or our families can possibly afford to be on the menu. And I affectionately coined the term samosa caucus to refer to the four of us. But unfortunately, we have not had any new members for 4 years.
You need some more samosas.
We need more samosas. We need more idlis. We need more pakoras. And we need people to run for office. So I say to everyone out there, either you or maybe one of your loved ones or friends should be encouraged to run, whether it's for city council or state house or maybe even Congress. Although please not in my congressional district, please.
Pramila, Ro, you want to wrap it up before I hand it to Ravi?
Well, what I was going to say is that, we did, the South Asian community and South Asians for Biden did so much work to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Devi Harris to president and vice president. Our work can't stop, because if they're going to be successful, then they're going to need an organizing force on the ground, including in Republican districts and Democratic districts across the country. And so if people can really stay focused on the issues and help generate the education around why we need a big relief package with all the things that we've talked about tonight, why we need to support President Biden's push for a big reinvestment package that is putting people back to work, why we need to have healthcare, Raja's call for canceling student debt. All of this is going to take organizing on the ground. And Reshma, you're an organizer, I'm an organizer, and we know that things don't happen with policy unless there is a strong outside strategy. So stay engaged, call your representatives and your members of Congress, try to organize more people, South Asians and others, for the policies that President Biden and Vice President Harris are going to be championing, so that we can really, truly bring the best of America to bear.
Love it. Final word, bro. No pressure.
On a policy basis, I have to say this: we as a South Asian community need to push to end the filibuster and remind people that the filibuster was part of the Jim Crow South by Calhoun to defend slave states, and is really a vestige of racism. And mobilizing to overturn the filibuster, I think, is what's going to help get a lot of the progressive agenda. In terms of the activism and involvement, I would just say, one, don't get discouraged. I lost 2 times badly before I won. And 2, don't think that politics is the be all and end all of making a contribution. My guess is, other than remembering Kamala Harris's historic achievement, we're probably going to remember most from inauguration Amanda Gorman's poem. And it just shows that you don't have to be an elected official. You don't have to be a politician to move a nation, to have a profound impact. You can do that in your own way and find your own voice. And all of that is necessary.
Well said. That's right. Thank you. Again, we are so grateful for your leadership and for the three of you. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your leadership. So thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Reshma.
Thanks, Ray.
Everybody.
Care. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Reshma. Thank you, Representatives Khanna, Jaypal, Narmuthy. So inspiring in a time where we're seeing so many brown faces in the public sphere doing really big things. I feel like in a lot of ways, this last year was a real coming out party for our entire community. We made impact in every election. I mean, just look at this event. Look at the people that are here. And it's so popular that, you know, mom couldn't even get into it. That and the fact that she probably doesn't work a computer that well. But either way, this is really exciting. And the next person, however, I think is one of the first faces that I remember seeing in the mainstream. One of my favorite actors, producers. He worked in the White House for a little while. And he also recently had a show that explores issues relevant to millennials and Gen Z voters called Cal Penn Approves This Message. Everyone, please Cal, you still haven't texted me back, by the way. Otherwise, this would have been much better. No, you have the text. You have the text, Cal. Anyway, whatever, Kalpen Betta. Guys, everyone, please, virtually give a big hug to Kalpen.
Thank you, Betta. Thanks for having me. Hey, everybody. Ravi, my apologies. As you know, I am terrible with text, so I'll have to check that and get back to you and probably a bunch of our other friends who are on this gala tonight. When I was listening to the representatives, I was just sort of thinking, like, looking at the lineup, this is such a night that celebrates the American dream, truly, right? I think the 12-year-old me would not have thought, wow, you're going to have a South Asian American vice president in your lifetime. I mean, I think the bar I tried to set for the American dream was playing a stoner in a movie, which I don't think is the reason my parents moved to America. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I know you're watching this. But then look, having the chance to be an actor and then work for President Obama and then Vice President Biden was a huge honor to take a 2-year sabbatical from the arts, which of course is my first love. And the first time that I had the chance to, first and really probably the only time I had the chance to personally interact with Vice President Harris was in 2007. Those of us who were volunteering for the Obama campaign, we were knocking on doors in Des Moines, Iowa. And I remember Mayor or Eric Garcetti, who then was a member of the city council in LA, and Kamala Harris showed up just one Friday night to help us knock doors. And I just thought, wow, that was cool. I knew who they were because I was living in California at the time. But what I wanted to talk about tonight was the concept of intersectionality a little bit. So those of you who follow Nick Dodani, love this dude. And I especially loved his tweets about like Diwali is going to be so lit this year at the White House. I love that because I had the honor of hosting the first ever Diwali that was attended by a president when President Obama in 2009 said that he wanted to personally observe Diwali. There had been previous administrations that had observed Diwali at the staff level or had a senior advisor or somebody sort of come through and light a diya, but President Obama wanted to do it himself in the East Room of the White House. And we timed it so that the Diwali celebration coincided with a signing ceremony for an executive order that President Obama signed, reestablishing something called the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. So as you know, Daisies, we fall under this huge umbrella that includes, more than 50 different subgroups of other Asian Americans, a lot of different languages that are spoken, a lot of different faiths. And so anyway, President Obama and Vice President Biden wanted to put this executive order and this coalition together to make sure that they could tackle challenges that the federal government was sort of ignoring in the past. So things like data disparity, right? When you check a box that says Asian American on a form, it doesn't disaggregate that data. I'm going to be a huge nerd for a second. That means that a wealthier Indian American doctor is in the same category as a Hmong refugee, right? And so federal government services aren't necessarily targeting the right people. They're not being allocated fairly, and there's a lot of waste. So anyway, I got to be in charge of kind of shepherding that executive order through. And President Obama was going to sign it at the signing ceremony. That also was going to include him lighting a diya and have a priest come, and there were a bunch of mitai on these chairs for people who he had invited. The weekend before this signing ceremony, my intern and I were doing some last minute work, and we were walking through the colonnade of the White House and happened to run into President Obama. We weren't expecting it, and there was nobody else around except for his Secret Service detail. And he sort of said, "Hey, what are you working on?" And I didn't know if he remembered this executive order for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. So I sort of briefly mentioned it to him. I said, Mr. President, this is a campaign promise you and Vice President Biden had made, and that's finally happening. And he sort of looked at me and my intern and he said, "I'm really glad that's happening. Finally, it's the right thing to do." And then he sort of walked off back to his office. And I thought to myself, wow, there's no press around. There are no donors. There's nobody who could overhear the president saying that he's glad that we're doing something for the Asian American and Pacific Islander community because it's just the right thing to do. And that stuck with me for a long time. The weekend went by. The signing ceremony was the following week. I briefed the president before he went out there and signed the piece of paper. I also, by the way, had to brief him because he was lighting a diya. We had a diya there. He had to light it. So I had a candle that was behind his podium. And I was like, "Mr. President, light the diya with the candle. And by the way, if the candle goes out, I have a matchbook that's like underneath the podium that I taped. So you can grab that, you can light the diya with that." But right before he went out on stage, I just had this horrible like premonition. Like, what if something goes wrong? What if he knocks over the candle, or worse, knocks over the diya? Like everything gets ignited, and then the headline on CNN is Kal Penn, aka Kumar, screws up first White House event. I was like, okay, calm down. The event went fine. We celebrated Diwali for the first time ever by a sitting president. But more importantly, a few months later, the BP oil spill happened in the Gulf of Mexico. And what a lot of people don't realize is a big group, a fishing community of fishermen in the Gulf are of Vietnamese origin. And many of them don't speak English as their first language. And because President Obama and Vice President Biden supported that executive order and the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, this office and this group that was set up in the government, there was somebody there who could go down to the Gulf and help them out as a liaison to that community and make sure that they had translation services when BP and others were coming in and asking them to sign these really complicated legal documents, for example. The federal government didn't tell them whether they should or shouldn't sign those documents. That wasn't our role. But it was amazing to know that a president who wanted to just do the right thing obviously couldn't have predicted that BP would dump all of this oil and affect all these fishermen who happen to be Asian American. But that was a really huge reminder that somebody who just wanted to do the right thing could have incredible consequences to communities that are otherwise forgotten. And so when we think about intersectionality and we think about the fact that we should rightfully celebrate that we finally have a South Asian American, African American, female vice president, there's a lot more that we can do to support our brothers and sisters in the Latino community, the African American community, LGBT community, disability community, everybody sort of across the sphere. The last 4 years have been really tough on everybody. And I would encourage all of you as we kind of get out there and our celebrations are done and you take your Advil tomorrow morning, because I know y'all are drinking, this is vodka. See what you can do. See how you can partner with other people in our communities and make sure that we show up for Black Lives Matter, that we show up for other folks whose bills are maybe before the Congress, and make calls for everybody else too. So thank you so much. Let's all celebrate together. I'm going to turn it back over to Fazia, but congratulations, everybody. Great job on this election. And we'll see you out there. Ravi, I'll text you back. Fazia?
Thank you so much, Cal. I want you to know that this is not vodka, and I'm completely jealous.
This is all vodka, I'm telling you.
I can't wait to hang out with you very soon.
It's a new brand, like Ryan Reynolds has his gin. This is my new brand of Desi vodka.
I think it's appropriate. Why not? Reclaim it. I have to say that actually Cal was probably one of the first faces I remember also seeing. And probably my favorite Bernie meme since the inauguration has been on the famous couch from the famous White Castle film. So very exciting. And everything, Cal, that you had to say really resonates with me as a queer Muslim Pakistani brown woman. Intersectionality is the world that I live in, and really thinking of this intersectional vice president that we have, a Black and brown woman. She's such an exciting person, I think, to take us into the age of Aquarius, if you will. And next up, I'm so excited to introduce this video that is just all of these heartfelt messages from across the South Asian diaspora and the community of love and celebration and hope from so many amazing folks and familiar faces. And so take a look and enjoy.
Seriously, I'm Parvesh Cheena.
And I'm Sonal Shah.
And we want to wish Uncle Joe and Kamala Auntie a wonderful inauguration.
A wonderful, amazing inauguration. We are so excited and happy and ready for the next 4 years.
Woo! 4, 8, 12.
8. Oh,
16,
sorry.
20.
Can you yes, can you stay there forever, please?
On behalf of 3 generations of the Chopra family, we celebrate the inauguration of Joe Biden as president and Kamala Harris as vice president of the United States of America.
I was so excited to cast my first ever vote for one of my heroes, Kamala Harris, for vice president.
Now we can hope for a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. Onward.
Congratulations, Mr. President and Madam Vice President. We're so proud. We're so thrilled. This is the most amazing thing. I'm so excited. We have so much hope. Thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone, Sendal Ramamurthy here, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say congratulations to President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris on their election. In particular, I'd like to say thank you to Vice President Kamala Harris for giving all the Indian parents in this country the opportunity to turn to their successful doctor, engineer, dare I say actor, children and say, how come you aren't vice president? Thanks for that, Kamala Auntie, and congratulations again.
Today we celebrate hope for all Americans.
Congratulations, President Joe Biden and
Madam Vice President
Kamala Harris, Auntie.
Yay!
It's 9 o'clock.
Yes! Congratulations! Woo! Yes!
Congratulations, Joe and Kamala.
Y'all did it, and I gotta tell you, as wives, we feel safe with y'all in the White House. So thank you!
Thank you.
Woo!
Hi, I'm Cubby Ladner.
And I'm Venk Modur.
Thank you for making your cabinet reflect the diversity that is my family and our country.
And it just so happens that my mom's name is Kamala. So now I have two Kamalas watching my back. So, cheers.
Cheers. God bless you, President Joe Biden.
And Vice President Kamala Harris.
Wow. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. To hear a name like Kamala in the White House, right, Mom?
Kamala.
I say sorry, you.
But you should say sorry, you.
Well, she's not wrong. Okay, congratulations, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris on this monumental win.
Congratulations, Kamala.
Here's to being the first, but not the last.
Yes.
When you think about the lives that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have lived, you know that they are everyday people who understand the daily struggle of life. And they come from two very different backgrounds. That's what's exciting to me, because that is what we need in leadership. People who are different, who can work together, who want to work together to represent the best of us and the best of what we can be. So I am super excited. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kamala and Joe. We're so proud of you. Cheers to everything you've accomplished, and we can't wait for you to get to work.
President Biden and Vice President Harris, because of you, we have hope for a better future.
Thank you, and congratulations. Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden. We are really inspired by you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hello, Tia Sarkar here. I just want to give a hearty congratulations to all of you who worked so tirelessly to get Joe Biden and Kamala Harris elected. And I'm just thrilled that our incoming president, vice president, and administration believe in science, reject nepotism, and truly care about humanity. And I am overjoyed that our next Vice President of the United States, daughter of immigrants, first woman, first Black woman, first Indian American, is headed to the White House. Just thrilled. Thanks for all your hard work. Congratulations.
We did it. It's here. It's happening. I think I feel better already. Don't you feel better already? Thanks to South Asians for Biden for getting people registered and for getting people out to the polls as we send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House. I do. I feel better already.
I love that. Alberta just hanging out there. That's fantastic. Okay, that was sweet. It was great to see everybody there. Hopefully you can hear me all right. My name is Rajiv Satyal, and we are back by popular demand with the Hollywood Squares segment. I'm going to be in the driver's seat for the presidential inaugural edition. And actually, you know what? Driving is a great analog for politics because we're all going in the same direction, at least in theory. And it's just the people in the left lane where we are. We want to go just a little bit faster. And people in the right lane, they want to go a little slower and, you know, presumably too slow because they leave the highway after some time. And, you know, and people on the left, and that's where the carpool lane is, right? Because it's on the far left. We're literally pooling our resources. We're helping each other, right? That's what we do. That's socialism. That's where we are. And on the far right, you've got the shoulder. You've got people running around. They're filling their gas. They're peeing on the side of the road. It's anarchy. That's the far right for you. And as far as cars themselves, I mean, you just look at the gears. You know, when you're in the car, you put the car in D for drive. That's Democrat. You go forward. If you want to go backwards, you put in R for reverse. That's Republican. So, you know, that's the analogy there. Let's meet today's incredible participants. we have with us the amazing, and son of a very well-known technology person, Ravi Patel. We've got Sakina Jaffrey. We've got Nisha Ganatra. We have DJ Rekha, Fazia Mirza, Ginger Shankar, Aparna Nancherla, and Nina Davaluri. Can you believe this amazing panel? A round of applause for this incredible lineup. And you can give yourselves a round of applause too. You know what? Why not for the other people on the panel? Why not? Let's do it. So, for those of you who have not joined in our past events, hope you've seen Hollywood Squares on the Game Show Network. Tonight, we're going to play our own version of this game. And our game's going to include questions about the inauguration of Biden and Harris, past inaugurations, President Biden, VP Harris, SAB, and much more. SAB is South Asians for Biden. So hopefully y'all are ready. Y'all, I'm married to Texans, so y'all. Shout out to TS, their car down in Texas as well. So Ravi, this first question is for you. How are you doing, Ravi?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you? I'm sorry. It sounds like you need to maybe not drive.
I need to what? I did not hear what you said.
I said you need to maybe not drive. It sounds like the road's really chaotic for you, man. I feel like, how are you doing?
I'm a man, so I believe I'm the greatest driver in the world. Have you ever met a man who didn't think he was the greatest driver in the world? All the women are shaking their heads like, yeah, man, that's pretty much how it is. Ravi, I don't know how much are you a football fan?
I am a big football fan. Oh, by the way, probably the most landmark event of this whole last year is today. A Gujarati dude got hired to be the defensive coordinator of the Bears, which is my favorite team. So it's a big moment for the Gujus. Last name Desai, for all the Gujarati people that are listening, Gemcho, Ame Avigya.
Very well done. My wife will be very happy to know that. She is a proud Gujarati. I'm a Punjabi. I married a Gujarati. I worked at Procter & Gamble for years, P&G, Punjabis and Gujaratis, so that actually works out. At the Super Bowl halftime show, 90 million people flush the toilet at the same time. And I think the sound you might have heard at 12:01 p.m. Eastern after Biden took the oath and Harris took the oath was this collective sigh of 81 million voters on our side. I think that's probably... an analog. Now, there were many fashionable choices at the inauguration ceremony on Wednesday, of course, but one in particular blew up the internet and went viral overnight. Was it one of the three following? Is it A, Ella Emhoff's tweed coat, B, Senator Sanders' wool mittens, or C, Desi Uncle G guest in the audience's wool cap?
Well, I know the Bernie picture has been really hot, but I married a millennial, so I'm gonna have to go with Ella, which I didn't care for, but my wife loved it. The thing with the leaves.
Yeah. Well, we're all leading now. I'm sorry, it's B. It's Senator Sanders. I think that's the answer. So it's okay. Thank you for going out on a limb, though. I appreciate that. Ravi Patel. Make sure you check out Pursuit of Happiness on HBO Max. I'm telling you, Ravi, to check it out. Not everyone else. You check it out. Your own work. You don't get a kick out of watching yourself. I watch my own stand-up. Okay, next up we have Sakina Jaffrey. Give it up for Sakina, everybody. And yourself, you can do that as well. This is not your first time out of South Asians for a Biden event, and you were not only part of our past events, but you were also a special guest at GoTV phone banks during the special election, motivating volunteers to make calls into battleground states. How did that go for you? Did you enjoy that experience?
Well, actually, there was a lot of this. You kept on, I had no idea that that's how it worked. And then the young people could go like, so it was, it went by like that. And we got very few responses, but we just persisted. Nevertheless, we persisted, clearly.
Well done. Well said. I agree. It's just, you got to drink that chai, man.
I didn't know.
And get it going. Or sorry, Ravi, cha. As the Gujaratis say, cha. So there you have it. Well, let's see how well you know SAB. How many, my voice is still cracking. I just hit puberty 30 years ago. Okay. How many people make up South Asians for Biden's membership? Is it A, 8,000, B, 10,000 plus, or is it C, 5,000?
Okay, I have to be the only Indian who is afraid of numbers. But swear to God, you can ask me how many jalebis will fit in a quarter-pound box, but this numbers, okay. And I can't get a lifeline. You don't do that on this show. Can you get out of? Nisha will help me. Okay, let's go with
I'll
it.
help you.
So we have 81 voted for Biden. We have 330 million people in the country. The U.S. is, I mean, the South Asians are what, what percent? What, 5%?
Yes.
Okay. So we have those numbers. 63 voted for Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And none of those numbers made any sense, but let's go with the maximum number.
Maximum.
10,000 plus.
Yes.
Nice work. Nevertheless, she persisted. You got it exactly right.
Nisha, thank
That
you.
was the perfect equation.
Thank you. None of those numbers are correct, I don't think, but we did it.
They're all exactly correct.
Thank you.
They're all right.
A plus.
A
right
plus.
on the money.
A plus.
A plus. Top class, yeah. That was it.
As
Almost
per
collapsed like a
usual
house of
with
cards,
Sakina.
but you know what? You did. So,
I'm free to help anybody else if it's not number.
Okay, I got a lifeline coming to you.
Okay.
totally fine. Since you got it right,
Yeah, Ravi, I got it right, Rav.
No,
Yeah,
did.
Ravi.
The math was perfect, but you basically had a mathematician helping you through it. I mean, she was.
I am a world-renowned mathematician.
Yeah.
You know what? It's great to see such female power because honestly, Nisha, you're up next, and this is going to be about the history of inaugurations. But actually, my favorite part of the whole inauguration was when you had Kamala and her Harris Doug, and you had Mike Pence and his wife. This time for a change, you didn't have two men talking, and the women had to sort of just kind of kill time and exchange pleasantries like they had to do. This time, you had a man and a woman talking shop, and this time a man had to stand around and kind of kill time. So that was kind of a nice thing to see the change. And to see a new day. So Inauguration Day is, it actually used to be held on March 4th, the only day of the year that's a sentence, March 4th, and was moved to January 20th as a result of the 20th Amendment, little known amendment. Which president's inauguration was the first to take place on January 20th?
Nisha, I can't help you.
I happen to be not only a world-renowned mathematician, but quite the history buff. So this is a good one because I would have been lost, but you said the 20th Amendment. And we all know the 20th Amendment was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And so obviously the first president was Chris Jackson, who was also the first president to then go on Broadway and win a Tony for his groundbreaking role in Aladdin.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yes.
She won.
This is right.
She won
Also Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Just for those of us who may not have seen Hamilton, but yes, that is exactly right. Yes, the choices were Roosevelt, Coolidge, and Carter. You didn't even need the letters. This one nailed it.
Lynn, always Lynn.
It was all Lynn. It was all Lynn. I love it. You got it exactly right. Congratulations, Nisha. It is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Sakina, for rapping me the answer quietly on chat.
Oh, now the truth comes out. Now, nevertheless, she cheated. Okay, no.
Persisted or cheated?
Oh, assisted. That's fair. That's a good point. Okay, next up is Nina Devilry. How are you doing, Nina? Oh, we're on.
Well, this has been such a lovely evening, so I'm excited to be here.
That is so cool. Thank you for kicking us off tonight. It was great to see you doing that for us. This next one is for our very first, very own Kamala Baby Harris. And, we know Vice President Kamala Harris is half Indian and half Black. And it's great, actually, to see the brown and Black communities mixing. I love seeing that because we saw Deepak Chopra earlier. It was Oprah Winfrey, right, an African-American woman who gave him his platform. And he was on Oprah all that way. He wasn't on her, but he was with Oprah a lot. Although, if they would have gotten married, she could have been Oprah Chopra. That would have been kind of cool. I would have loved to have seen that. The first Black and first South Asian woman of Indian heritage was sworn in by the first Latina woman to be Supreme Court Justice. That was Sonia Sotomayor. What a moment that was. So, who swore in Vice President Kamala Baby Harris into the Senate on January 2017? Was it A, her sister, Maya Harris? Was it B, California Governor Gavin Newsom, or was it C, President Joe Biden?
So I believe, if I'm correct, usually the vice president swears in the senators. So in 2017, and the Senate is usually sworn in before the new president. So in 2017, I believe in a full circle, lovely moment today, it was Joe Biden who swore in Kamala to the Senate.
I think it was Lynn. I think it was actually Lynn. I think, for sure.
Lynn is the answer to all of these questions. You're exactly right. Fazia, good contribution.
Thank you.
Or maybe it was Bernie's gloves, mittens.
We will swear by those gloves. There's no doubt about that. Nina, you got it exactly right. That was totally great. It was the now president, Joe Biden, which is awesome. So you got that exactly right. So this next one is for you, DJ Reka. Where's DJ Reka?
What's up? How you doing, people?
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. We are so excited to hear you spin at the end of this. We're such a fan of what you have been doing for such a long time.
Right at the end of this thing. Yes.
We
spin your answer. That would be awesome.
Yes. That's the answer. My answer is the carrot.
Your answer should just be like some Bhangra music and then just bam.
We saw the Trump baby for 4 years. We're so glad the Trump baby is gone, yelling coochie coochie coo and goo goo gaga. And before you knew it, he staged a coup. And then 2 weeks later, we had Lady Gaga in that same place. Now he can't grab any coochie. So I'm actually glad to say that.
That wasn't sexy. Thank you.
Was that too much? Was that, you know what? Who cares? I'm not getting paid for this. Okay. During the inauguration, 3 phenomenal artists performed. 2 were Lady Gaga. There was a tie-in to that joke. 2 were Lady Gaga and J-Lo. Who was the third? Was it A, Tim McGraw? Was it B, John Legend from my state of Ohio? Or was it C, Garth Brooks?
It was MIA.
Yes.
It was MIA.
Yeah. No, it was Garth Brooks, the whitest man singing the blackest song, and I stole that from Rishi, the podcaster. I stole that joke from Twitter, but that is true.
You borrowed it. You borrowed it from Twitter. That's totally fine. Yes, that is exactly right. It was Garth Brooks. You nailed that one. So nice work on that one. Everybody give it up for DJ Reka.
Thank you. See you later. No, we're still doing this. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. They totally got it right. And next up, we go to Fazia, whom we've seen a lot tonight, and we are happy to do so. You look like you know your trivia. I think you've been throwing in a lot of good comments.
Are you hitting on me? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great target. Okay, who was the youngest president ever to be inaugurated? Was it A, Teddy Roosevelt, B, Barack Obama, or C, John F. Kennedy?
I just have a question here. Aren't we not supposed to be talking about anyone's age, like amongst brown people? Like that's like against our collective religion, isn't it? So
not if they're dead.
Wait, we don't talk about weight.
She
we
called
don't
in
talk about weight.
Yes, you win bonus points.
Well, I feel like the answer is the president who likes women as much as I do, or liked women as much as I do, JFK.
Wow, that's a great answer. I like that. You're exactly right. Happy birthday, Mr. President. You got it exactly right. That was JFK was the youngest president ever to be inaugurated. Love that. Okay, we've got Ginger. Where is Ginger? Ginger is here somewhere in the mix. Ginger, there you are, Ginger. You're next. You have been a tireless activist on so many fronts, and you know that API voters, and young API voters in particular, were the margin of victory in many key states during the general election. I actually called the Biden-Harris ticket 3 years in advance. I predicted that. And my prediction is, I don't know if I want to say 2024 and end the party, or 2028, but I think to showcase South Asian female power, it's going to be 2 South Asian females who are going to battle it out. That's my prediction now. It's going to be Kamala Harris, Nikki Haley. I don't know what's going to happen. But just because you're brown doesn't mean we're going to support you, right? I mean, Bobby Jindal even went to Brown University, and that wasn't really enough for us. So With that out of the way, what percentage of young Oppie voters voted for President Biden, contributing to the Biden-Harris victory? Was it A, 67%? Was it B, 78%? Or was it C, 83%?
Ooh, who's the math expert here?
Nisha and me and Nisha as a combination.
Yeah,
but we can
okay,
help you out here.
Okay.
And then ready? Let's do the math on this
going,
one.
right? We can figure this out. We
can. Let's do it's all about the equation. If you get the equation right, like Sakina, then the answer is obvious.
Okay.
So if we can figure out how to get this to Lynn, we'll figure this out.
Then we got a musical. Yeah, go ahead.
The way to get this to Lynn, I think, is clearly through you and DJ Reka.
Well, first of all, I mean, we got to give a shout out to the actual organizers and activists that worked this whole thing, AAPI, voter turnout, Georgia. I mean, all over the people that work this. I am absolutely not an activist. We have activists and organizers on the ground. Okay, so they mobilized pretty well this time. I'm going to guess
maximum.
Yeah.
Always guess maximum. That's Sakina's rule.
I'm gonna go with what she's saying, an 83.
Or Hamilton.
Got it exactly right. It is 83%, y'all.
Wow. Does this also work on the stock market? Like,
I hope so.
At maximum.
It worked Inauguration Day. It went up more than any other point. So I think it does. Aparna, it is up to you, my fellow comic.
I have a question. How do you win this game?
Yeah, I was wondering the same question. How do I win this?
I'll give you my points, Sakina. You can have my points.
Okay.
Well,
Sakina's already won.
I think so.
I think the only way you can lose is by getting it wrong. And Ravi
got it wrong.
All the women are.
But that's sorry, man.
Well,
do you get dunked now? Is there a button and then you just fall?
It's like a dunk tank. Yeah. Exactly right. I think we all win by showing up. It's like voting. It's like voting.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's exactly
But
what
don't
it
get
is.
it wrong because then you lose.
Maybe there's a little red button under Ravi's desk and we dunk him into some Diet Coke or something.
Wait, so what did we decide? That everyone won except for me?
Yeah.
Not yet. We have more people to go. Aparna's going
Well, yeah,
Aparna
but
is the
I'm
last
okay
one.
with winning without answering.
All right, Aparna, I wish you the worst.
Aparna,
I
you're
think
always
Aparna is just stalling. That's all. But you had DJ Reka. They nailed it. You had Nisha, Nina, Fazia, Ginger, Sakina. They all nailed it. So here we go. Okay, Aparna.
Okay.
This last one is for you, and it's about the incoming Biden-Harris administration. It is already, they wrote it, incoming, it's already there, but that wasn't, it's not a trick question. To date, how many appointees of the incoming administration, the current administration, who are South Asian or are in key staff roles? Is it A, 10 to 15? Is it B, 20 to 24? Or is it C, 25 plus?
Maximum.
You think maximum?
always.
25 plus? I don't know if we're there yet. You got
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That would make sense. I mean,
If I get this wrong, you guys gotta take
No,
me out
You're
to
just with
dinner.
Ravi.
Believe.
You're either
Okay,
with Ravi or-
okay. I'm gonna go with 25 plus peer pressure.
Oh, I am so sorry. Ravi, you were the only one who got it wrong. Aparna, you were right.
Yay!
come
Wow, I
Over
love
Aparna.
that. 25
Exciting.
plus. What is
Oh.
it? 27?
More than
Yeah, what is the answer? I know it's 25 plus. Is it 20? I think it is 27.
Whoa.
That's
Does
insane.
anyone want to look that up? Google it. It's a lot. Thanks,
That's
Gotham.
great.
26. Carney is saying it's 26.
I love
Google
that.
says a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Things
Good
are
work.
going to go well. That's what I say.
Yes.
That's how many minutes
Yeah.
long this panel was in overtime. So I think that's okay. So you know what? Everybody out there and for yourselves, give it up for Aparna, for Sakina, for Ginger, for Nisha, for Nina, for Ravi, for Fazia, for DJ Reka, who will be back.
Johnny Walker.
Thanks, Rajiv. Great job.
Give it up for
Thank y'all.
Rajiv.
We'll get together with any other Democrat who needs us there to help them.
Okay.
So
Thanks,
Yeah.
Chris.
we're here with our numbers.
With our
Seriously,
numbers. We got
we
it.
have
Our
all the
83%
numbers. With our
and our
maximum
26 in the
guesses.
cab. That's great.
Guys, it's been fun. Good seeing all of you.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, everyone.
Sorry about the loss, Ravi.
Good to see everyone.
Unreal. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks. It's
Thanks
such
for
a
the
Desi
altruistic
goodbye,
dinner.
man. Such a South Asian goodbye. We're just gonna sit here for another 10
Linger.
minutes. That's awesome. We just have to block them out. Okay. Thanks so much to our participants. That was really fantastic. That concludes our game. We thank you to all of our amazing contestants for playing, and I hope you learned some fun-ish facts. I think they were fun. The questions were good. The answers were even better. That was amazing. Next up, we have a very, very special message from my good friend, the amazing Nick Dodani.
How do I get out of here?
Whoa. Hey everybody, Nick Dodani here, coming at you from my family home in Phoenix, Arizona. In 2013, a lot of you will remember, the Supreme Court handed down a decision that brought marriage equality back to California.
California's ban on recognizing same-sex marriages is dead.
Same-sex marriage can now resume in California.
I will be in San Francisco this weekend. There will be dancing in the streets.
At the time, I was a glorified intern for a group that was working with the plaintiffs on that case, a gay couple in LA and another in San Francisco.
The message to the children of this country: you are just as good as everybody else, no matter who you love, no matter who your parents love.
The day I finally get to look at the man that I love and finally say, will you please marry me?
As soon as we found out the ruling was in our favor and that marriages could resume that evening, we scrambled to plan same-day weddings for the plaintiffs. My job was to drive to the LA County Clerk's office and scope it out. Figure out exactly where in the building the plaintiffs would have to go, how much a marriage license would cost. I had to save a parking spot for them, etc., etc. So I went and pretended that I, at the ripe old age of 19, was the one getting married. I got a lot of weird looks, a lot of concerned comments, but I got the info we needed. When Jeff and Paul arrived to request their marriage license, they were denied.
That we cannot do anything until we hear from the state. And we haven't heard from the state.
Who do we need to call to make that happen?
They're going to have to call the state because they're going to have to issue something from the court. Can we have you guys step aside and let us handle the customers until you get...
Despite the court ruling, the clerk told us that they would have to hear directly from the state before they could issue a marriage license to a same-sex couple. So, my boss pulled out her phone and made a call.
Are you the director?
I am.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Real with the AFER. These are plaintiffs.
Hi.
Jeff
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
I have the Attorney General on the phone right here. You
Okay.
can take a call from her.
Sure.
Okay, Felix, here we go. I'm hitting the phone.
Hi, this is Dean.
You must start the marriages immediately.
All right, I will take that as our notice and license them.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. Have a good day and enjoy it. It's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Okay.
That was the clerk
LA.
of Los Angeles, and I just told them that they have to start marriages right away.
Later that day, I got to watch Jeff and Paul get married at LA City Hall. And it was that day that I became a fan of the fighter, the ally, and the auntie who tomorrow will become Madam Vice President. God, I'm so excited to see Joe and Kamala get sworn in tomorrow. I mean, Lordy, I am relieved. I hope you all find time to celebrate because we have earned it. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hi, I didn't realize this was coming back to me. Okay. Hi, everybody. I think I'm just killing time, right? I was just supposed to introduce Nick.
Hi,
and then Nina, there's Nina. There she is. Hey, Nina, go for it. All right, there you are.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be back. I'm so excited for this next segment. Growing up as a young South Asian, we traveled back to India every year. And in India, I learned the classical dance of Kuchipudi. And I remember in 3rd grade, I said, I don't want to dance anymore to my mom. And she said, well, we already paid the dance master, so you're going to go to class. And I'm so grateful that she did because Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam became such a huge part of my core identity, my values, and who I am today. So tonight, I'm very excited because we'll be showcasing various art forms from the South Asian diaspora and their rich diversity. In this first video, you'll see Kuchipudi, Kathak, and Bharatanatyam performances by Manaswini Avari and Company, Farah Yasmin Sheikh and Nurani Dance, and Srilata Suresh and Vishwa Shanti Dance Academy. The second video will feature a song at the mosque's Sri Lankan Kandyan Dance School, Dilhan Pinagoda's Sri Lankan Dance Academy, the Maruni dance from Nepal, and Bangladeshi dance by mother-daughter duo Rokeya Jahan Hashi and Mahadea Ishal. Now sit back and enjoy the artistry of these incredible performances.